quick and affordable way to improve your current TV is to add a Fire TV stick. Now this is going to be compatible with any TV with an HDMI port, so pretty much every TV available. But the benefit of this is you now have access to the latest apps, you have all kinds of different streaming services, and you don't have to go out and buy a new TV. Now in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to get this set up, some of the extra things you might want to know about owning one of these, as well as some of the features you have if you also have other Amazon devices in your home. But one of the things about this is there are a bunch of different models, all depending on what you want to pay. Now they are all very affordable, but looking at this chart right here, we can see some of the benefits of these. Now in today's video, we're going to be using the Fire TV Stick 4K Max, second generation. So this isn't the latest, but it is the most powerful as it has 16 gigabytes of storage, has a 2 gigahertz processor, and then it has Wi-Fi 6E. So very quick. Now, one of the other most recent ones is the Fire TV Select. Great product, has a good price, and it has all the other features. Now, some other things you might want to pay attention to is if you have a TV that supports HDR or it has Dolby Vision as well as Dolby Atmos, you might want to go for one of the higher end options there because that's going to be the best compatibility for your TV. If you already have a really nice TV, then it will be able to show the full quality of different videos right on your TV. And then some of the other things is if you want to use Alexa Plus, you can't go with the HD. You do need to get a 4K model. And lastly here, this model we're testing out today does have the Ambient Experience, so we'll be able to show that off and see what that is like. So let's go ahead, get this unboxed and show you what it can do. So here, this does come with the Fire TV Stick as well as a remote that you can use. And looking at the back, here are some other specs that this has. So this has 4K, it's going to be very high quality, HDR, a fast processor. It has personalized entertainment, so it's going to give you recommendations. It can work with your TV or a sound bar, and it can be all controlled from the remote. You can ask Alexa to do all kinds of things with it, and it has the Ambient Experience with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And here is everything you get inside the box. So here we have the Fire TV Stick, and this one has micro USB, so it comes with a cable there that we're going to plug in the power adapter, and then into the TV. This is just going to go into an HDMI port. Now, if it is hard to reach the HDMI port, it comes with this little dongle that allows you to plug it into here. And then you can plug this in so then it's dangling and maybe not sticking out on the back of your TV. So very nice that that is included. Next, we have the Alexa Voice Remote Enhanced. So the other versions don't have the enhanced one. This is the enhanced model. These can be purchased separately, so I can show you how to pair a second remote if you want, but let's go ahead and put in the batteries first. Just going to snap in like that, and then we're going to place this in. Now let's go ahead and undo the power cord here. So here we're going to plug the USB-A into the power adapter, and then we're going to plug the micro USB into the Fire TV Stick. And we are now going to just plug this directly into the TV. So here on the back of the TV, I'm going to find my HDMI ports. There it is right there. Now, when I try to plug this in, the power cable is actually hitting my other HDMI. So that is when I would want to use the extender. So we're going to place that on. And now we can plug that in. And now that is able to freely float down here. And now plug it into the power outlet. Now your TV should automatically switch to the Fire TV once it turns on, but if it does not, find your TV remote and press the source button or the input button until you see a remote on screen. So I'm going to push that 2 times, or you may need to navigate to the different HDMI. And this is the screen you will see once you have your Fire TV plugged in and you are on the right input, and it will change the language as it's just sitting there. Now we're going to grab the Fire TV remote, and I just need to push the play and plus button. Then we're going to press it again to start. And now we have the option to choose our language. You can see that there are a bunch of different languages on there. So we're going to go at the top. Here we have English. And now if you purchase the Fire TV on your Amazon account, it will automatically sign in for you. You don't really have to do anything, but if somebody gifted this to you, if you got this from a store, you will need to sign in. Now you have the option to scan the QR code to sign in with your phone, or you can just simply press OK to use the remote. So first thing, it's going to set up our Wi-Fi network. So you need to find the Wi-Fi that you have the password for. And now we're going to type in the password. It has now connected. It's going to double check to make sure we have the latest software. So it's going to go through a software update. May have to do that a couple times. And now we are brought to the page where we need to sign into our Amazon account. So I already have an account. Now this is where you would want to get your phone. Super easy to do this. You just need to scan the QR code and sign in there. The other option is you can go to the website and then type in the code on screen. There I've signed in on my phone and now it has registered on the Fire TV. That is me. Let's continue. And it's asking if you want to save your password to Amazon. That way you don't have to type it in next time it has your account. We're going to say yes. And here we can actually use our Fire TV remote to turn on and off the TV. You can use Alexa to do that as well. And now our Fire TV remote is ready. Now, as we go through the setup, it's asking if we want to sign up for different services. Amazon Prime, I already have that, but we're going to say not now. Here, I don't have Apple TV. And then here we have Amazon Kids Plus. No thanks. So a lot of options for kids because you can actually have a kids profile. Here, this is Luna. Luna is Amazon's online gaming platform. So for $10 a month, it says down there, you can have access to all kinds of different games. And then you can get a Luna remote. So you have kind of a full game console right here through the Fire TV, which is really cool. I've used it before. Really great service, but at this time, no thanks. And now we're going to choose our streaming services. So most likely you already have some apps that you use. So we use Peacock. I'm going to choose that. Here we have Disney Plus, Plex, and then I'm going to go through and some of these other ones, I don't have any there. Here we have different sports apps. And then here, let's choose PBS Kids. And so that's kind of your basic setup for apps. We'll get into all the apps you can download in just a moment. And we're going to tap Finish. And here we have some options to set up to use parental control. So if you're ever downloading an app or buying a movie or renting a movie, you would want to have it require a PIN code. So I've previously set up my PIN code and we're going to have it always require that. And here it says require a PIN code for other actions like parental controls. So yeah, we probably want to turn that on too. And now we're going to go into continue. So now we're going to go ahead and choose our PIN. Now, the great thing is you can't tell what code I typed in. So I love that about that type of PIN code on the TV. All right, we have parental controls enabled. You may not need those. And then here are some other things the Fire TV can do. We can personalize it with different profiles. We can find what to watch. We have an easy menu that we can navigate and we can customize that as well. All right, so here we are on our home screen. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and add different profiles. I'll get more into that in a bit. And here we have our home screen. And now we are at the home screen. So there is a lot going on here, but let's simplify it. But we have these menus over here. We have different apps over here, and then we have recommendations down here at the bottom and some like ads at the top. So if we go over to the very beginning, we have my stuff. So this is anything that we've recently been watching, recently purchased. We can go in here and view those different items. Next, we have games. So I was talking about Luna. Here is where we can go in and play those games. There may even be other games that you can just play right on here. Not too sure, haven't used this menu too much. It looks like here we do have the option for Luna, and on specific Fire TVs, here we can do NVIDIA GeForce Now as well as Xbox. So there's some cool stuff built in here without even needing Luna as well. So it's an app store, so you have apps that you can just download directly to the Fire TV. Next, we have the find option. So maybe you're looking for something. We do have Alexa that we can hold down on the button here to find anything, but you can just come through here and browse. Let's say we want to find a new app. We can go to the App Store. As we browse through here, it will show different recommended apps. Let's say we do want to download Fire TV. We're just going to go in here, press the button, and then we can download. Now, whenever I have it download something, I do need to put in my PIN. Kind of already showed you how to do that. But now that has been downloaded, just be careful if it's downloading something and you see a pop-up down here in the corner and you push that menu button to switch modes, it's going to open that app. So that only happened once or twice for me, but hopefully it doesn't happen for you. So there we go. We now have the app and we can easily open it and sign in. So those are all the apps. You have other options, movies, TV shows, and more. So if we go back up here, next we have free. So these are just items that you can watch without having to have an account. It's using different services that are ad-based. So it's going to play the ad and then you'll be able to watch it and you have ads as you're watching it. So that's kind of cool that that is there. You also have the home. So whenever you push the home button, it's going to go here. So it's showing you things you've watched, recommendations, and other items. And then here we have a live TV. So again, it's going to use different services, paid ads sometimes, and then you can go through here and just watch whatever. And if you have certain services like YouTube TV and other things like that, you'll be able to watch those directly on here. Now, next we have the different apps. So it's showing the top 6 recommended apps that it thinks we want to watch. We can actually go over here to the menu. We can push this. And now if we push the menu button over here on the side, we can move the app and we can put it where we want it. So if we have an app here that we don't really want at the top, we can move it down, and then we can grab an app that we want, press menu, move, and we can move it up. So you can customize those main apps, and then you have all of your different apps here down at the bottom. Now, this is a great place to talk about how to sign in. So let's say we already have a Disney Plus account. So we're just going to open that up. Now that we've organized some of our apps, let's go ahead and sign in. So here I'm going to go into Disney Plus. Now, if you don't have an account already, you can go through and accept this offer, but I already have an account. So I'm just going to go to the login. Now I can go to the website and type in the code and sign in, but the other option is just get your phone, you scan the QR code right there, and now it's automatically going to sign in from my phone where I probably already am signed in on. Looks like I need to type in a password. And then instantly it connects my account to the TV. Didn't have to sign into anything. So we are ready to go. Now I did just receive a pop-up down here at the bottom about creating your own Alexa home theater. Now that's how you can pair your Fire TV to your different Echo speakers. I'm going to cover all how to do that in another video. So let's continue to Disney Plus. And just like on Disney Plus everywhere else, here we have all of our different accounts. We can easily open that up and we can then view our favorite videos right there. Okay, let's head home. And that is kind of how all of the main things are working on here. Let's go ahead and talk about all the buttons on the remote. Now, all Fire TV remotes are very similar, but this is the enhanced remote that does have a few more buttons down here at the bottom. So let's start from the top. Up here, we can power on and off our device. So there I can press the power and that has totally turned off the TV. I can press it again to turn it on. So this automatically is able to do that. It does have IR in here, so it can control any device that you have and be able to be used with it. There's a way to set that up in the settings if it's not quite working properly. Next, we have the Alexa button right here. So we're able to hold that down and ask it all kinds of things. What's the weather tomorrow?
Tomorrow's forecast shows wet snow in the morning with a high of 43 and low of 25 degrees. There's a 90% chance of snow accumulation around an inch, followed by a 55% chance of showers in the afternoon.
All right, good to know. So I like how it gives you that full kind of feedback here on the screen instead of just voice response, which is cool. So there we have the back button. That's how I use that. Now these right here, you have the circle, which is a D-pad. You can scroll around that way. And then you have the middle button that you would want to press. So let's go ahead and play something real quick. So now when we're playing a video, I can just push the middle button to pause. I have the option to press forward, and that's going to skip 10 seconds forward. And then we can push back and that will begin to play. So really simple, easy to use, but you also have a few more navigation buttons down here. So if we want to go back home, we're going to push home and that just takes us back to the home page. We can push back and that will take us back even further. Oh, and then here, if we hold down the home button, it takes us into this little menu right here. We'll get more into that in just a bit, but I'm going to push home again, takes us here. And then at certain times you will want to use the menu button where that's going to interact with things like when I was moving the apps, I was using the menu button. Then we have the option of the play pause. So let's go back into our movie here. So here as the movie is playing, once it starts, then that little menu is going to go away. And if I push the play pause, it's going to instantly pause that. I can then fast forward by pressing the button here, and you have about 5 clicks where that's going to increase every time you click it. And then we can push the pause and then play, and it will skip to that part of the video. You can also do the same thing for rewinding. So very easy to navigate. You have those options. You have the D-pad up there, which is great. Now, when we are watching a movie, over here we have the volume buttons. So we can turn that up, turn that down. So that's interacting directly with my TV volume. Again, it has the IR, so you can set that up with your TV. And then here you have the channel button. So depending on what app you are using, you might be able to use that. You can also scroll up and down on different things, which is easy. Here with the volume, we also have the mute button down here, so we can easily mute and unmute it. When you press the volume again, that will automatically unmute it back to where it was. So that's kind of nice. And then here we have the live TV button. So whenever we press that, it's going to take us back home, and then it's going to open the live TV app. So there you can see all of these different videos that we can watch. And again, these are just free. They are there. We'll have to watch an ad or so, and then we can play those. And then here we have this little menu button. So when we push that, it's going to take us to this menu. There's a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about here. And then the last option is the recent app. So maybe we were just in an app, we wanted to go back to it. So here we have Disney Plus. So we just press it, and then we'd have to push the middle button to select to go back to Disney Plus. So I like that you can easily multitask right there. Now down here at the bottom, you've seen this on most of the new smart TV remotes, is here we have the different apps. So you have our Prime Video app, Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube, where you can quickly navigate to those. So let's go ahead and go home. And I want to do the menu button here. So again, we can push the menu, or we can hold down the home button to get there. So first we have the option to quickly switch between profiles. So right now I'm on my profile, but let's say I wanted to have my kids watch their shows and I want it to kind of lock into my account, my stuff. I can add the parental controls on all of my apps, but in their profile, I can go in here and I can choose an account that they have already set up. So let's go ahead and choose her, and we can go in and even create a profile icon if we want. They can go through and choose one that they might want to do. And now let's go ahead and add that account. So now we have a kid's profile. And as you can see, when we go in here, it's the same. So nothing is set up for the kids. Let's go and see if we can do that. So going over to the far right onto their profile, we're going to click on there. And then we're going to go down under Accounts and Profile Settings. Scrolling down here, we have Kids Settings. And then we need to verify their account. So I'm a grown-up. And we're going to log in. And once we're logged in, we need to create a PIN. So this makes it so they can't leave their profile. So I'm going to go ahead and enable the PIN. And now we have different parental controls options. We can set daily time limits, manage content, and other things from our phone. Here you can manage the Amazon Kids Plus subscription and more. So now that that is set up, we can press home. And now this is their profile. So it's showing different things, and I can adjust what apps they can use. And so a lot of content has changed. Great that it is locked down for kids. I think I might need to do a more full video on setting this up for a child. So now to go back to my profile, I'm just going to hold down the home button, and we can change the profile and go back to mine. So that's great that you have those options there. And even if I want to have different shows appear than my wife, we can set up her profile as well. So we're going to go back to this mode right here. And I like how it's got the time, the date right there at the top. But on this version of the Fire TV, we have the Ambient Experience. So here we are in the ambient mode. Now at the top, you see the weather as well as the time. So it's great. This will just display and will automatically turn on after 5 minutes. If we tap the menu here, we have a few options. So we can change the background. Now they have a bunch of different preset like folders you can choose. So here we have personal photos from Amazon Photos. You can do different featured, you can do AI art, all kinds of things. But what's really cool is they have motion. And so let's go ahead and choose this Natural Wonders. Let's choose the space one here, and we need to change the collection. Now if we go back, hopefully it loads up. This has been having a little bit of trouble doing that, so maybe that will load in a minute here. But then the other option is we can actually add widgets right to the screen. So the screen's just kind of on when you're not watching something. So this is cool. You can add a calendar, you can see live TV, music and videos. You can even add a smart home favorites widget. So let's go ahead and add that. And then you can have a surprise me. So just a couple widgets there. But on the main screen, when we go back So it looks like the widgets aren't loading right now, but they will appear there on the main menu, main screen, which look pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go into some of the other preferences you have for ambient mode. So first you can change the widgets. So there you can see they're small. Now they're a little bit bigger. So that's cool. You can do that. You also have the options to show the widgets when it starts, or you may want to not do that because it could have some issues with OLED TVs. You can turn on a border. So instead of just having the picture, it adds a border to make it look like a frame, and you have a few different color options there. You can have it not show the image if you want. You can have it rotate every 5 minutes. You can do the background shuffle where it will automatically rotate through those. AI clock on and off, and the weather. And then here you even have some more advanced settings where it's by default going to turn on after 5 minutes, and then it will turn off after 15 minutes and go into sleep mode, so it's not damaging your TV. So there you go. That is the ambient mode. Pretty cool. Too bad I couldn't show more about what it's doing. Right now it's not working great, but let's go ahead and try an Alexa Plus pre-made background. Make a background of a dinosaur snowboarding down a half pipe. So here it is using its AI magic to create something magical, I'm sure.
Your prehistoric snowboarder is ready to carve. Want to tweak the scene or add some snow effects?
And there you go. We have a few different options we can choose from to add it into our library. Tried this a few different times. These are the best snowboards that we have seen so far. Not quite doing a trick, but this one has an eye. So we can go ahead and choose that, and then we can have it be applied to the background, which is pretty cool. All right, so enough of that. Let's go back home, and we're going to hold the home button, and then we have the option to sleep. So instead of turning off the TV, you can go into sleep mode, and that just kind of turns off the display, but the TV is still on. So if I push home, it instantly is going to go back to that. Then if we hold down home, we now have a screen mirroring option. So here screen mirroring works with Android devices. So if I go into my settings here under my Samsung phone, under connections, we have Samsung DeX, which you can wirelessly mirror Samsung DeX over to the TV. It's kind of like a desktop interface. Or you can go into Smart View, and Smart View allows you to mirror your full phone. So we can tap on Brett's Fire TV right there, and there you can see it's adjusting on the TV, and now it is mirroring. So everything we are looking at on our phone is showing up over there. Here we have an indicator that's saying we are mirroring, and now we can go into the gallery, and you can see it's displaying the picture full screen over there and making it look pretty cool. So that's pretty quick to load up the different pictures over there. This isn't going to work for like gaming. It's going to be a little bit laggy, but this is a great way to share something easily with the entire room, or there's different games that you can play and make this pretty fun. So when we're done, we can just tap there. It's going to stop casting, and then we are done. And that is a really nice feature to have on here as well. And then the last option is we can then just jump into the settings of the device. And so here it will take you to the settings. So if you need to adjust anything, if you need to change your Wi-Fi network, you can come in here to the network settings. You can join another network. You can see all network, so on. Here you have your Fire TV settings. If you end up getting a new Fire TV, or you want to give this to somebody else, you would want to factory reset it before you do that. So you're going to go over to the settings, and you're going to go down to My Fire TV. And then we're going to scroll down to reset to factory defaults. This makes it so everything has been signed out, no one has access to your apps, and it'll be like a brand new Fire TV once you give it or sell it to somebody else. So we're going to enter our code here, and now it's going to set it to its original factory settings. All of our personal info and sign-in will be lost. Here, if you want to adjust your account and profile, you can do that. If you want to delete any applications, you can come in here. If you want to just go to display and sound, you can set up that Alexa home theater. You can adjust the experience and other features there, making sure it's working correctly with your audio system. Here we have the option to go in and adjust the controllers and Bluetooth devices. So this is where you could pair a Bluetooth controller, or you can add another Fire TV remote. Here you have some other preferences. This is where you can change your equipment. Maybe you move this to a different TV in your home. You would want to go under Control Equipment, and then you can manage the equipment. So you can go through the process to add a TV and make sure that the volume controls are working for that TV as like it is working here. You can adjust the live TV. Notifications is kind of showing you the most recent apps that have been downloaded onto the device and other things that it's wanting you to set up. Here you have the Alexa that you can adjust. Next, you have the accessibility. So a bunch of accessibility features here, closed captions. You can do Alexa caption, dialogue boost. So making so you can hear the people talking a little bit more. You have voice view, text banner, screen magnifier, high contrast text. You can change the audio type and you can give feedback there. And then last, you have a help that's going to help you figure out how to do some things. So there you go. That is pretty much all the settings there. Now, the last thing to talk about is a few other things that you can do with this. So I've already talked about Alexa Plus, so I'm going to hold down the button here. Let's ask it a few things. What's a great movie to watch for family night this week?
Searching for family-friendly options for your movie night. I found some great choices like Zootopia 2, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, and Wicked. For good, that should work perfectly for your family gathering.
So here we have a few options, seen one or two of those, but we can go through. Let's say we want to watch this. It's saying that we might need to subscribe there to Paramount Plus to watch it, and there's a free trial. So it's going to be able to search all kinds of different services to find different movies. Down here, we see that there are some options we can watch now because it's in our library. Here you would need to use Disney Plus, but I do have that, so I could watch it. So really cool. And you can do a lot of things with the voice commands, like asking who's in a movie. If maybe you want to find a specific scene of a movie you know of, you can ask it to do that. Go to the scene when the pigs arrive at the Angry Birds movie.
I couldn't find that specific scene, but here's the Angry Birds movie too.
Okay, so it didn't work there, but there you go. Jump to the movie and you can ask it to play different movies and so on. So that's all the great things you can do with the Fire TV. A lot more to talk about, but that's kind of how you get set up and all the things that it can do. But what happens if you lose your remote? Now, the good news is there is a Fire TV app that you're able to control your Fire TV with even if you don't have the remote. So here, I'm just going to open the app. So here we have the Fire TV app, just going to open that. And here it is showing my different devices I can control. So I have Brett's Fire TV right there. It's waiting for the TV. And then on the TV, there is a code that is going to display. And we just need to type that here into the phone. And now we have our full remote. So all those buttons that I was showing you over there, if I push home, it's now going to head home. And so here we have everything that we saw over there. We can go to the menu. You can change this to a touchpad. So if you like swiping like this, up and down, or we can have it go to the D-pad where we can tap. Then we have the center button there, and you can adjust some settings, TV control setup, and so on. So that's great. Now you can also swipe this way to see a little bit more. Now I don't have the volume controls on here because it's using the infrared on the remote to control the volume. If you have a Fire TV Cube, that will be able to let you use the volume here because it's sending the IR signal. We can swipe this way and then we can see all of our apps, and we can even press the plus button there to see all the apps and organize those to where we want them to be. Now, if you also really wanted a remote, you can just buy a new remote and go back into those settings and repair a new remote, and you can use the Fire TV app to be able to get you where you need to go. And pretty seamless, very easy to do. So there you go. That is how you can totally control your Amazon Fire TV. Now this will be very similar on all of the different Fire TV models, whether you go with the Max, the Plus, or the 4K, or just the regular HD. If you have any further questions about how the Fire TV works or what it can and can't do, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about building your home theater system with your Echo speakers, make sure you check out the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.